This video is closed captioned. Hello there, travelers. Welcome back to Travel Droner. I'm Anthony, and excited to talk to you about Egypt today. We all know that Egypt is home to many wonders, like the Great Pyramids, the life-giving water of the Nile River, and sand dunes that move with the wind's will. It's a worthy inclusion on anyone's bucket list, but many common pitfalls can end up negatively impacting your vacation. I want you to have the time of your life, so check out these 10 common mistakes tourists make when traveling to Egypt. Number 10. Not flexing your haggling skills. While you're the only one who will suffer if you ignore this tip, failing to negotiate prices means losing out on potentially significant savings. Services and products will almost always be quoted at higher prices for tourists when compared to locals. As tourism has struggled in Egypt, so have businesses. So many opportunities for locals to eke out some extra Egyptian pounds will not be missed by business operators. You can even negotiate the price of a private taxi ride, so there aren't fixed prices in the taxi industry. If you are used to paying the listed price without question, haggling can feel awkward and uncomfortable. You might even worry that you're offending the other person. But don't worry, the vendor will not be surprised and knows their product or service well enough to determine the lowest price point they can accept while still making a profit. If you're too far apart, they'll let you keep walking, and you'll have learned the price threshold for a particular product. Number 9. Skipping out on the local cuisine. When you're in a foreign country, it can be easy to default your food choices to familiar meals and fast food chains. But passing on local cuisine deprives you of a vast and delicious aspect of a country's culture. Kushari is a carboholic's dream made from macaroni, rice, and lentils, topped with rice, tomato sauce, and crunchy fried onions. And if you're looking for something at least vaguely familiar, Egyptian pizza, known as fatir baladi, has layers of flaky phyllo dough and can be made sweet or savory. Number 8. Carrying only foreign currency. Depending on where you're coming from, the exchange rate to Egyptian pounds will likely be heavily in your favor. And while you might think it's easier to just carry about your home currency, you also run the risk of being severely overcharged for products, services, or experiences. A vendor could easily tell you that something is just $1, which might seem like a bargain, but if quoted in Egyptian pounds, the equivalent price might be pennies on the dollar. Ask for the price in Egyptian pounds, and be ready with an app to help you convert the amount. Exceptions are hotels and some luxury locations where signage clearly indicates that transactions must be handled in a specific foreign currency. Number 7. Not respecting the historical artifacts. When you're in Egypt, you have the opportunity to get up close and personal with historical landmarks like statues, pyramids, and more. And museums display priceless artifacts like ancient mummies, delicate pottery, and fading artwork. And when you're so close to something you can reach out and touch it, the desire is to, well, touch, but it's not always allowed. And climbing the pyramids is a big no-no. It was legal once upon a time, but is now punishable by up to 3 years in prison. Not a worthwhile trade-off. And as for museums, many will prohibit photos of any kind, or at least flash photography. If you're caught breaking the rules, not only are you risking additional damage to important pieces of Egyptian history, but you could have your phone confiscated. Help preserve these landmarks for future generations to enjoy. They've been around a lot longer than you have and deserve to stay that way. If you enjoy our videos, join us on our journey worldwide by subscribing to our channel. Please click the bell icon to get notified when we publish a new video. Number 6. Buying gold without knowing your stuff. Scams targeting unknowing tourists are nothing new. And they're certainly not unique to Egypt, but one of the most notorious scams in the region is fake gold. Egypt is synonymous with gold, like Italy is with fine leather, so it's only natural that many visitors want to come home with a piece of Egyptian gold jewelry or trinkets. Some vendors will claim a piece is 18-karat gold while it's only 10 carats, or will not weigh the gold properly, inflating the price. They may try to woo you with their most expensive pieces or tell you that the price is based on the craftsmanship rather than the quality of the gold itself. Prices may also be increased to account for the commission that a vendor shares with tour guides. Tour guides are offered incentives like this to steer their groups towards particular vendors, claiming they are the best, when in fact, they just get a piece of the action. Number 5. Not taking your medications with you. Of course, if you have prescription medication, you will need to travel with everything you need for the length of your stay. In fact, it's a good idea to pack extra in case your trip is delayed for reasons out of your control. It would be terrible to be caught in a foreign country without access to potentially life-saving medications like insulin, inhalers, etc. But it's also a good idea to bring a basic first aid kit with some basic over-the-counter meds. Even though I recommend not missing out on local cuisine, there's a good chance new spices and ingredients won't agree with your stomach. So bring your favorite antacid and stomach-calming medications. Generic painkillers like acetaminophen and ibuprofen are suitable to carry around as well. And since you might not be used to the heat if you're visiting in the dry months, electrolyte packets can help you stay better hydrated while exploring the desert. Number 4, not hiring a local guide. You can self-support a lot of your trip to Egypt, but there's no denying the added benefit of a local guide. A knowledgeable guide will enhance your experience, helping you learn about the history of this desert jewel and highlighting things you might otherwise miss on your own. Another benefit of a guide is reducing the amount of harassment from locals. Vendors, unless working with the guide, are less likely to be aggressive with their tactics. And you might find yourself a less appealing target for pickpockets and thieves. It might not seem like a big deal, but keep your eyes open, and you'll see frustrated tourists trying to fend off strong-willed vendors, and I can almost guarantee it's taking away from their experience. Number 3, not understanding the culture before arriving. The good news is that by watching this video, you've already started learning about Egypt's cultural and social norms. Egypt is a Muslim country, which comes with conservative practices. Multiple mosques call for worship 5 times a day, and it's essential to respect the rigid rules regarding daily prayer. Similarly, it's respectful to dress conservatively, even if the intense heat makes you want to wear your short shorts, skimpy dresses, and spaghetti-strap shirts. Men and women should dress conservatively. This doesn't mean covering up head to toe, but covered shoulders, knees, and torsos will keep judgment to a minimum. Egypt is also a loud, chaotic country, and if you don't look like the locals, you'll attract more attention than you might be prepared for. Women especially might have a hard time with catcalling. The best course of action is to ignore it and move on. It's unfortunate, but women will probably have fewer problems if traveling with a man. Number 2, not getting traveler's insurance. Opting for travel insurance is entirely up to you. But hear me out. Egypt is an incredible place, but it isn't always the safest. And regardless of the safety of any destination in particular, travel insurance is a safe bet. It doesn't just protect you in the event you are mugged. Different types of travel insurance protect a variety of scenarios. For example, the U.S. Embassy states that testing positive for COVID-19 while in Egypt will require a 14-day quarantine. If this happens to you, your entire trip could be turned upside down, and insurance can soften the blow. You might be put up in a nice hotel during your quarantine instead of being left to figure out your own way forward, in addition to securing funds for missed experiences due to your quarantine. Even minor inconveniences like altered or canceled excursions from a local travel company can be covered by travel insurance. And of course, should the unthinkable happen and you find yourself needing urgent medical care, having insurance that covers you while in another country is critical to access quality care. Number 1, planning your entire trip around Cairo. Cairo is packed with history and famous locations: the Pyramids of Giza, Al-Azhar Mosque, Saqqara's Step Pyramid, labyrinth bazaars, and museums featuring incredible historical artifacts are just the beginning when it comes to Cairo. But there's much more to Egypt than the capital. The Egyptian landmarks are spread throughout the country, and places like Luxor, Alexandria, Dahab, and Hurghada have significant sites that are well worth the visit. Tranquil towns like Aswan sit along the Nile and offer a more laid-back atmosphere and an escape from the hustle and bustle of Cairo. And if you're a diver enjoying the underwater world of the Red Sea, offers a whole new world for exploration. If your schedule and budget allow, branch out your itinerary to explore some of the less visited locations in Egypt. And please don't forget to book your cruise on the Nile. Cruises don't run every day, and they book up quickly. Plan it as soon as you arrive, if not before, to make sure you don't miss out on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And that's a wrap on today's video. Did you agree with my list? What were the biggest culture shocks you experienced while visiting the Middle East? What do you think is Egypt's best-kept secret? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, let me know by tapping the like button. And if you're looking for more travel content, consider subscribing and enabling notifications so you'll always be the first to know when a new video drops. Who knows, I might cover your dream vacation destination in the next video. Until next time.